never retire. Oh, turn it up now. Dum dum dum. Ha. Sunrise overcast, trees down, yeah, the morning nice and clear. Yeah. Mark it and touch the camera, say people come and hear. Yeah. On the YouTube channel, streaming truth straight through the flame. No fancy talk, just real talk, calling out the game. Me say look how the system does press down on the poor, but we go stand up strong, we go open every door. From the fish market corner to the sell out and free market, and a voice for the people that easy legacy. Mark it on, fire in the wire, light it up, let it go higher. Rhythm pump like the heartbeat, truth burn like fire from St. Lucia to the Virgin Islands. Mark it on, standing up for you and me. We no bow, we no break, we no bend, we no hide. We fight for the people with the truth as we guide. Yeah, we sing it loud, let the whole world see. Freedom for the voice, it that what ba 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 ba. Section, people talking every day. Some agree, some disagree, but they still find a way to keep it real, keep it grounded, never sell our soul. Even when the pressure try to take full control. He said watch out, the power like to twist up the truth, but we got the people who are stronger than the proof. Every upload like a spark in digital night, I lighting up the minds so the future stay bright. Mark it down, fire in the wire, light it up, let it go higher. Rhythm pump like the heartbeat, truth burn like fire from St. Lucia to the Virgin Islands. Mark it down, standing up for you and me. We no bow, we no break, we no bend, we no hide. We fight for the people with the truth as we guide. Yeah, we sing it loud, let the whole world see. Freedom for the voices, up what ba 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 ba. Hands up now, let the rhythm roll. Feel the bass line deep in your soul. We come together, north, south, east, west. Only unity go past the test. Mark it on, fire in the wire. Light it up, let it go higher. Right the heartbeat, truth burn like fire. Mark it on, standing up for you and me. We no bow, we no break, we no bend, we no hide. We fight for the people with the truth as we guide. One love, one voice, one destiny. Yeah, we play. Ba 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 ba.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is up and what is going on? It is your boy Maki Dan, the historian, coming to you with another stream for the Democracy Briefing. Shout out to everybody that's already in my YouTube chat. I already see my girl Angie Baby, and I see my girl VKB. Thank you so much for coming through, my two queens. Y'all are always up front and center supporting. VKB shared the stream. I sincerely appreciate that so much. Uh, as I just stated, they're in my YouTube chat. I'm starting a new journey today. From now on, I'm going to be streaming on Kick as well as Twitch. Hold on, let me let my AC up here. This for anybody that might be watching on Twitch or anybody who watches the playback on Twitch or Kick. This is my co-host AC. Me and him, we come up here at least once a week, and we comment and react to things going on in public interest topics, politics, world news, national news, the works. And we tried to push back on the illiberal force that is MAGA, that is trying to destroy our democracy. And we try to push back using the truth, at least as we see at least as we see it from our perspective. But I will drop the link to my Twitch and Kick stream to everybody in the chat. Please, if you support me, please head on over there and support, follow, give me some gifts, subs, and whatever and whatever else you could do to support the Democracy Briefing. We are currently at 455 subscribers. So we are 45 subscribers away from becoming partially monetized on YouTube, or at least requesting that we become partially monetized. We still gotta wait for those people to make their decision. But I'm gonna come to my co-host, my OG, AC, Aceonomics. How you doing, AC? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It's, when you got family, bro, you say I'm gonna sit down and do something at this time, and then somebody orders something, and you got to go downstairs and get it, and the delivery guy just wants to take forever.
Man, let me tell you something. I love my family. Um, but one of them really tested me today, and I have to have patience with her because she doesn't have all her mental faculties. You know, she's my I adopted her youngest son Isaiah, so he was actually my first child that you know I'm responsible for. Then I just had my other son, my second son, last year, and that was a whole situation on itself. But she really tested me today because her other son Ezekiel, you know, I'm trying to get him some professional help. He has some anger issues, and I tell this girl from yesterday that get him ready. I'm gonna pick the two of y'all up at 11 o'clock, and around like literally 15 minutes before the appointment, she's gonna call me and say, "Oh, I have to watch my other son Ishmael." And I literally almost lost my ever loving mind because Ezekiel is he's on MAP, he's on Medicaid. So
Uh-huh.
you know Medicaid kids, like they are on like a 3 month wait list. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But these people, they know me and my family so well. At Island Therapy, they're willing to push him up for me and my family. And this girl, like, I really was about to lose my ever loving mind. Like, but hey, you gotta have patience with family
Yeah,
and
bro.
understand that people are not perfect, and you know what I'm saying, especially her. She's not perfect, but you know, you gotta love them and just have grace. But that was just a piece of my day, man. But anyway, hey, see, we got some topics to cover. Like I said to the people in the chat, please smash that like button. Please sub to your boy Marky Dan. Please do like my girl Vacay Bay. Share the stream. You know what I'm saying? We on the way to 500 and partial monetization. But first topic we're gonna cover today, AC. Well, it's not gonna be the Iran war. I'm gonna let that lie for another week. You know, pretty much the same stuff. You know, Houthis blockading the Bab al Mandeb Strait. They attacked a pretty big port in the Red Sea and whatnot, and then Iran's lobbing missiles, and you know it's the same shtick every week. And Trump saying he won and da 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 da. In other news, AC, Stephen A. Smith just recently, I think this happened maybe last weekend, was awarded by the National Association of Black Journalists, the NABJ, one of the oldest and most prestigious organizations for Black journalists in the history of this country, going all the way back to civil rights. They gave Stephen A. the Thumbs Down Award, and essentially that is an award they've been giving it out for years. You know, some years they'll award it to multiple people. Some years they won't award it to anybody. This year, they decided not only to award it to Barry Weiss, you know, the current head over there at CBS's newsroom, who is just a tool for Israel. They awarded it to Brendan Carr, the FCC chair, and I believe one other person who I can't think of off the top of my head, and none other than Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, sports analyst and political commentator. Smith has established a recurring public pattern of disparaging commentary directed at prominent black women across politics, sports, and media. Such commentary reinforces harmful narratives, undermines the fair and respectful representation of black women in public discourse, and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of black communities.
So there you have it. And the president of the NABJ, I believe her name is Erin Haynes. You know, she's been on a little media tour explaining it. You know, it was a bit shocking. You know, Stephen A. has been at the NABJ conference every single year. He, you know, as a black journalist coming from the Philadelphia Inquirer, you know, he's had his own career as well as he's been supporting and giving his time to the NABJ. And I just want to play Miss Aaron's comments.
NABJ was among the institutions that was hoping that he would not continue with these kinds of remarks and with these kinds of with this kind of rhetoric specifically against Black women. That is not something that happened. As you clearly are outlining there is a pattern here, and that is the pattern, that I really felt compelled to address, and that this board felt the need to address as president. I will say again, NABJ did not make this decision casually, right? Like we definitely stand behind the award and the concerns behind it, and I am willing to discuss those concerns directly with him. But the pattern speaks for itself, and it's a pattern that we felt compelled to address because of what kind of rhetoric that what this kind of rhetoric enables and really normalizes, right? Particularly when it comes to powerful Black women. We're seeing this from the highest levels of our government in addition to, what we had to call out this weekend. So this recognition wasn't about one comment or one moment. You showed that. This is about a broader pattern and the responsibility that really comes with having a significant platform. Don, if it was you doing this, we'd be in the same place, right? And hopefully we'd be having a conversation about this.
But we would be on the phone about it. I mean, or talking about it. I would say, hey, whatever. But yeah, go on.
Now, let me give my comments on this because, and I don't have the video of Stephen A. reacting to it. He went on Sean Hannity, which is just hilarious. You choose to go on Sean Hannity to respond to this instead of going on Roland Martin, which I think speaks volumes all by itself. Stephen A. Smith is a grifter. There is no doubt about that. I'm not going to go as far as to call him a coon like I would a Brandon Tatum. But that being said, he is a grifter. Okay? Before Donald Trump launched his re-election campaign in 2024 and he was picking up steam, Stephen A. was as anti-Trump as you could get. Okay? He was anti-conservative. I remember him and Will Cain on First Take used to have some of the biggest like fights because Stephen A. supported, at least at the time, the Warriors and different sports teams saying they weren't going to go to the White House. Now Stephen A. is admonishing almost anybody who comes out against Trump, and he does it in such a way, AC, that you just listen to this guy and you say, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's how I feel about listening to Stephen A. when it comes to sports. Like, this man doesn't know shit about football at all whatsoever. Like, I don't, like, when I watch First Take during the NFL or college football season, it's for swagoo. They just fired Ryan Clark, but he was a great commentator over there. Dominique Foxworth. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have great Black commentators over there. Stephen A. Smith just comes across as a big fucking loudmouth who just pops off at the mouth, who just runs his goddamn mouth, and who thinks if I say things in a loud enough and a ridiculous enough voice, then people will just listen to me and be like, wow, that guy's making a lot of sense. But no, I mean, like, I'll never forget. Before I even comment on like if this was warranted to give him the award, I will never forget. He sat up there on his program after the 6 lawmakers, Mark Kelly, Alyssa Slotkin, and others, made a video telling service members, do not follow illegal orders. And Stephen A. had the gall to get on his program. I wish I had that clip, just so that anybody watching who doesn't really follow Stephen A. when it comes to his political commentary, so y'all can see just how stupid he is. He gets up there and he says, how dare you? In that friggin' voice, how dare you? How dare you tell service members to ignore the commander-in-chief? Dude, if you don't shut your fucking mouth. Firstly, all of those people in that video were former service members, including Mark Kelly, a guy who flew missions over Iraq. Well, even got into some dog fights. A guy who was a test pilot, who was an astronaut, was a captain in the Navy for over a decade. A guy whose wife took a bullet in the head, and she was a politician at the time. I can't remember what it was. She was standing outside protesting, I think, the Iraq War, and took a bullet in her head for this
Gabby
country.
Gifford. That was Gabby Gifford. She got that
Gabby Gifford.
She got it in church playing a softball game. Yeah. A charity softball game.
Now I'm mistaken. I apologize. Yes. Okay. So she took a bullet in her head during a softball game. Excuse me. But thank you for the correction, AC. And this man has the gall to get up there and try to impugn Mark Kelly's character and who he was as a service member and as an American. Then going back to, I don't know if you were tapped into this, AC, during COVID, the Kyrie Irving situation, where Kyrie Irving, he did two things. Number one, he refused to take the vaccine, which is his right as an American. And number two, he posted the link to a video that essentially called into question the state of Israel's occupation of the West Bank and Gaza. And Stephen A. lost his mind. He talked about Kyrie like he was less than a child of God. But what one of these white right wingers come on his show and say that COVID was a big conspiracy, and no, we as free Americans, we shouldn't have to take the COVID shot. Okay, I respect your opinion. He doesn't push back on them. It's not the same type of energy. And then specifically with this award, AC, you heard what Earhart said, and you heard what the what was announced at the award. He was given this award from their perspective because there is a pattern of him using rhetoric that is demeaning, condescending, and damaging to black women, particularly in the sports and political commentary space. So Stephen A. Comes out and he does this all the time. I remember when, well, first, let me just say, I think that there were probably better people who you could have gave the award to. I mean, we just talked about Brandon Tatum, literally a walking, talking Uncle Ruckus, like a real life Uncle Ruckus. Anytime there's a black person dead or going to prison, he's jumping for joy. That probably would have been a better person to give that award to. But let me say, it's not unwarranted, given the reasons that the NABJ stated. And I remember when Joy Reid lost her show at MSNBC. This man literally came on the next day and said it's not surprising. Her ratings were down, and she had a terrible show. And not only that, she was too anti-Trump. This man came out and stated that Kamala Harris needs to be quiet, that nobody wants to hear anything from her. He then went on to say Jasmine Crockett talks like she's from the streets when she's talking about Donald Trump. This award is warranted because if Laura Loomer wants to call Jasmine Crockett Shaquanda and say all this derogatory stuff, that's one thing. But when it's a member of your own race, and it's somebody who's as big a media figure as Stephen A. Smith, that's a whole different thing. Because now people like Laura Loomer, who want to paint Jasmine Crockett as ghetto, as nasty, they're going to take what Stephen A. said and weaponize it against them. People who want to say that Kamala Harris was a whore, she slept her way to the top, who even cares about what this lady has to say? She's unqualified. They're going to take Stephen A.'s comments of be quiet, nobody's listening to you, and they're going to weaponize that against her. And I could go down the line of other comments he's had about, specifically, I remember what he said about Serena Williams and saying, oh, if that was my wife, I would have divorced her, all because she was sea-walking at the Super Bowl. Like, dude, there's a thing where, and by the way, I have no problem if Stephen A. wants to criticize Jasmine Crockett or Kamala Harris, because they're politicians. Okay, they're meant to be criticized. But it's a whole different thing when somebody from your own race is doing this. Okay, it's something different than if somebody from outside my family is saying Marky Dan is a punk, he's a creep, he's this and that. That's one thing. I let that slide off my shoulder. If my brother comes out and repeats those comments, that's a whole different thing. And he should understand this. This man has switched so many of his positions. I remember Stephen A. Smith used to come on his show all the time, and one of his favorite lines, oh, I'm a black man in this country, and I've always known, and I teach my daughters, you have to work twice as hard just to get one bit, or excuse me, just to get the same positions as our white counterparts. Now, this last year when Trump wins, oh, There's no systematic racism that's readily apparent. If you want to get something, you should just be able to go out and get it. I don't want to hear any more of this complaining. Just an absolute grifter. Like I want you to imagine, AC. Like let's say you got some white state lawmakers or some white lawmakers on the federal level who want to disenfranchise Native Americans from their sovereign land. And then imagine AC comes out and AC says, you know, these Native Americans, particularly, you know, that Sioux tribe, they build too many casinos. I mean, that land shouldn't be built for casinos. I mean, what's wrong with these people? That's beautiful land. What is then going to be the response? They're going to blow that up and weaponize it against your own people. So, were there better people than Stephen A. Smith? Were there better people who could have got this award? Absolutely. Absolutely. You got Brandon Tatum, the coon, and you got Jason Whitlock and a whole host of other coons and Sambos out there who could have got this award. But it is not unwarranted. And he has definitely earned it with the way how he talks about particularly black women in such a demeaning fashion. And I also want to say, just one more thing before I let you comment on this, if you have any comments, AC. Stephen A. Smith has done a lot of good for people of color in the sports talk industry. And I'm going to give him his flowers. He has gotten a lot of black men, black women, like Kerry Champion, Jamel Hill. He's gotten a lot of them work, particularly at ESPN. And he's come on a lot of their, he's been on a lot of their shows, you know what I'm saying, to show support. And he's always, and whatever you might say about Stephen A. Smith, even if I think that he's pretty, I think he's pretty dumb and ill-informed on a lot of topics, this man is a hard worker. Okay, there was reports that this man sleeps at ESPN. Okay, he is on from 10 a.m. in the morning all the way to 8 p.m. at night. And he'll even be on there. He'll even be working longer than that because he does his own podcast. I will give Stephen A. his flowers on a lot of things, like HBCU week. Like there was never an HBCU week at ESPN where they would come out to the HBCUs and highlight black excellence and the culture and whatnot until Stephen A. Smith came on there and pushed the issue. And by the way, I pray that the day comes that Stephen A. Smith brings HBCU week to the Virgin Islands, to my alma mater, to my HBCU, the University of the Virgin Islands, the only HBCU in not in the continental United States of America, because Stephen A. Smith is from St. Thomas, or his father is from St. Thomas. You know what I'm saying? So I will give him his flowers on a lot of things, but the award is not unfair. And I'll whatever comments you got on AC, you go ahead.
I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna say it like this. Stephen A. Smith, to me, wants to be the new modern day shock jock. He wants to say the outrageous stuff to try to be the guy who's saying, I lead the conversation. When you want somebody's opinion that's going to turn or have influence in the conversation or the zeitgeist, you're going to talk to Stephen A. Smith and see what his opinion is. The other person you're going to go to in that safe space is Candace Owens. After Candace Owens, you're going to go to the Jason Whitlocks, and you're going to go to the police officer dude you just mentioned. So they all are serving their purpose. Yeah, they all are serving their purpose. And Stephen A. Smith's purpose is multitask right now, because between him, possibly Candace Owens, and Whitlock, they probably have the biggest platforms. So I say it like this. Stephen A. Smith has touted himself the guy who keeps black women in check. So if a black woman gonna get out of line, hey, Stephen, what's your opinion on this? Well, let me show you how to deal with these black women only the way a black man can do it. And take no disrespect because I have daughters. You see the angle? You see where it makes sense?
I mean, that was a perfect impression of Stephen A. Smith.
So when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, bro, that's the scam you trying to run on everybody. You're using your daughters as pawns to put yourself in this space that the big suits will love, because it's throughout history, it's always been the black female voter who's always made the biggest difference. When black female voters sit out elections, the other side wins. Traditionally, when they're engaged in the election process, Democrats win. The side they support wins, and they win heavily. Black women know how to galvanize. So
AC.
Hey, hold on, bro. Hey, calm yourself down, bro. Go ahead and finish, AC. I'm gonna let you speak, BVO, but don't do that. Go ahead, AC.
So basically, what that does is that diminishes the black woman's voice. So when you diminish her voice, you're diminishing her voting power. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, when I look at what he's doing in this moment, and going back to the last election cycle, yeah, you deserve this award. You should have got this award a long time ago. Because I don't give a shit what you did in the past. That don't matter. What matters is what you're doing right now. And in the entertainment space, that's what matters, what you're doing right now. Like Chuck D said, Elvis was a hero to most. But most people didn't know how racist this dude was. Hulk Hogan.
The dude with a black cook that he bought a house.
Yo, Hulk Hogan is my dude. I had the Hulkamania jump off. And then when I found out he felt this way, I was like, wow, what a piece of shit.
Coon alert.
And man, hold on, AC. Let BVO say what he got to say. Go ahead, BVO. Say what you got to say. Defend your man, Stephen A. Smith. Go ahead.
Hey, the coons are out tonight. Yikes!
Man, hold on one second.
Jump into it.
Sam, there's no...
Jump into this, you idiots. Jump into it. Aggressively. Aggressively.
Boss.
Aggressively.
Oh my God.
Aggressively. Run into it. Stupid boy.
Say what you got to say. Go ahead.
Well, shout out to AC, my brother, the businessman. You know, the Clarence Thomas of YouTube. Definitely shout out my guy, Marky Dan, the historian. You know, some call him the Charlie Kirk of YouTube. But you know what? To see you, Buck Dance, Uncle Tom niggas get up here and dog our dear beloved brother Stephen A. Disgusting. Disgusting. And you know, I put a little theatrics on it because we got to have some fun. But to hear you niggas get up here and talk about our brother like this, what the heck is wrong with y'all? It's Don King's birthday and y'all want to dog a brother? That's the problem with blacks. That's the problem right there. How many people have y'all helped? Y'all haven't helped as many people as Stephen A. Come on, man. Kerry Champion, Jamel Hill. These people hate black men.
Let him get it out.
They hate black men. And they hear my man AC get up here and kowtow and do all this cooning and
bro.
Oh, black women. Guess what, y'all? Black women are not above reproach, man. Black women are not above reproach, man. I'm sorry to tell y'all coon, bootlicking niggas that, but that's not the case. Jamel Hill attacked Stephen. Kerry Champion attacked Stephen. And the thing, Joy Reid attacked Stephen. And it's funny how if we don't agree with y'all coon, buck dancing niggas, all of a sudden, we everything but a child of God. Stephen A. takes care of his family, his sisters, his daughters. He didn't put people on. There was no such thing as HBCU week. at ESPN and to our beloved brother Stephen A. did it. There wasn't even a such thing. Wasn't even such a thing. But y'all get up here cooning and buffooning. Hey, this is not Jason Whitlock. This is not a dude spitting white racist rhetoric. This is not Brandon Coon Tatum. This is not him. It's not him. This is a brother who's done nothing but dedicate his life to the furtherment of black people. And the fact that y'all get up here and disparage him the first chance y'all get, you know, y'all the guys that'll let Malcolm X get blasted front row. Coon, spineless niggas like y'all. Spineless niggas like y'all. Y'all the type of niggas that give a nigga with gunshot wound CPR.
I got it, AC. Let me tell you something, BBO. And BBO, and by the way, AC, me and BBO actually had a conversation about specifically why I said Stephen A. deserved this award. I had a conversation with BBO about his own rhetoric when it came to black people. The facts are, BBO, when there's a white woman like a Laura Loomer calling Jasmine Crockett ghetto, and Stephen A. piles on by saying she talks like she's from the streets, but he won't apply that same rhetoric to the nasty white women like a Nancy Mace or the orange just sack of nothing that is the president. That is noticeable, and his words are weaponized. And I say this to you, BBO, because I remember I called you after the Josh Hokett incident at the White House because you took offense to what happened when that man got up there on a big national stage and said Michelle Obama is a man. And what did I tell you, BBO? You're not allowed to be offended because you got on your show, a show I love, BBO Sports TV, subscribe, a show I've dedicated a lot of hours of my life to. You got on your show and said Barack Obama is the first gay president. You have rhetoric. What did you say about Kamala? What do you say about Kamala Harris all the time? Oh, that's Willie whoever's a girlfriend. You don't call Kamala Harris
look it up. President. That's Willie's.
Right.
Hold on. His wife said that. His wife said that.
BBO, you have white people out there who want to call Kamala Harris a whore, who want to say that she slept her way to the top, despite the fact she's been in multiple elected positions. And when a black man like you, with a big platform like yours, gets on and calls her Willie whoever's girlfriend, instead of calling her by her actual title, that they can use that and weaponize it to say, you see, even black people recognize she's a whore and she slept her way to the top. See, she's not qualified to be president.
Hold on, that's what his wife said, beloved. That wasn't me that said that.
You're not,
Willie Brown,
but you're not.
Willie's
you're not
wife said that.
To my point. You're not listening to my point. Fine, leave Kamala Harris alone. Your words as a black man can be used to be weaponized against your own people. Even if you mean it as a joke when you call Barack Obama the first gay president, and then his wife gets disrespected in the worst way. It's the same standard I'm applying to Stephen A. And you know I'm not being dishonest with my criticism.
Beloved, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm saying it out of love. You got to remember, on Time magazine, it said America's first gay president. Look it up. I didn't come up with that. That's what Time magazine said.
You didn't.
America's first gay president with Barack Obama's face on it. Look it up, brother. Look it up. I'm not making this up, dog. You my brother and I love you. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you what those white liberals won't tell you.
So hold on. So
Stephen A. is an ally to our community.
A white newsroom, a newsroom full of white people, choose to put the first black president on the cover of their magazine as the first gay president, and you as a black man are gonna go repeat that.
That's the same magazine that religiously had Malcolm X on it every week. 1963, 1964, and to his death. That's who covered Malcolm unbiasedly. Playboy magazine and Time magazine covered Malcolm X unbiasedly, bro. So I got to give them credit for what they've already done. But to have y'all tear down blacks is not good. Say it again.
You're gonna repeat bullshit from them?
I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to tell you what I seen, brother. That's it. That's it. We come on here to talk politics. I'm telling you Y'all let the devil use y'all to talk about our brother like this. This is sick. This is sick. AC, you should be ashamed of yourself, brother.
Hey, AC, you
You on
can't
the wrong side of this, brother. You on the wrong side of this, brother. AC, you're sick. You on the wrong side of this, brother.
All right, if I'm on the wrong side, then up is down, down is up. So I tend to look at it like this. Malcolm X spoke about people like you. When Donald Trump is sick, you say, "We sick, sir. We sick, Mr. President, aren't we?" When Donald Trump is ill or shits his pamper, you like, "We need our pamper change." See, that's who you are, BBO, by nature. I mean,
Master,
at the end of the day,
our house is burning.
No, I voted for Willie Brown's girlfriend. While y'all running y'all's mouth, I voted for Willie Brown's girlfriend.
At the end of the day,
hold on. I'm a card carrying Democrat. I'm a progressive. That's conservative, but I still am part of the Democratic Party.
So
the only time I ever voted, and see, I'm gonna give y'all some game. The only time I ever voted non-Democrat in the presidential election was when I voted for John McCain, because I thought he was an American war hero.
No Time magazine article exists claiming Barack Obama is gay or anything like that.
To be specific, it's Newsweek. He misquoted.
Yeah, a 2012 Newsweek cover often cited used the phrase "first gay president." So Time magazine.
My mistake. Thanks for correcting.
And plus, these magazines that you're talking about, you got to go back and say who owns them. So when you go back and you look at who owns them, then you know the rhetoric. I mean, you would think that an intellectual like you, BVO, that is so passionate about black men, we're talking about a black couple, a black man and a black woman who have 2 daughters. I think you would want to do just a tiny bit of research just to find out who owns
Hold on. Did he not bomb? Did that Kenyan not have a bomb? That Kenyan had a kill. That dude had a kill list, bro. That brother had a kill list. Nobody dropped more bombs in the calendar year than Obama.
We ain't gonna let you just coon all over the place. Go ahead, AC.
Let me talk to you in my Stephen A. Smith voice, PVO, my brother. See, the thing we got to understand is when you criticize black folks and then you want to have people talk about me in a way that backs me, and I do appreciate you, brother, for backing me up.
Yeah, you're my brother. I love you. I've known your father. I've known your mother for years.
You see the work that I'm trying to do here in my career for my daughters and the legacy that I'm trying to leave for them. You see what I'm saying? You see how that bullshit just flows, BPO? So if you want to believe bullshit and clownery because this guy at the end of the day is an entertainer, he's there to entertain you while he delivers.
I can't hear you, man. I can't hear you. The music a little. Can you turn the music on just a little bit? I can't hear him.
No problem. Go ahead, AC.
So all I'm saying to you, BVO, is Stephen A. Smith is an entertainer. Barack Obama was president. Michelle Obama was the first lady. To sit there and bring that up and then pass that on as a black man without recognizing, hey, wait a minute, I am talking about a black married couple that reached the highest pinnacle of politics in this country.
Why did he destabilize Libya? Why did he ruin Libya? Because you don't care about black people, bro. Tell the truth, bro. You don't care about us. We suffering all over the world. We suffering all over the world.
Hold on one second.
What part did I lie about?
Hold on. Do you know what Gaddafi was doing to his people in Libya?
You a liar. Gaddafi tried to give blacks $1 billion.
Hold on one second. And by the way, listen, I will give you this, BBO. Was Barack Obama right to do what he did in Libya? Absolutely not. He destabilized the country, open air slave markets, tens of thousands of people died, the whole shebang. But if you were to weigh the amount of people Barack Obama killed versus any other white president, from Donald Trump to George Bush.
You can even go back to George Washington, kidnapped, bro.
It's
how the
not
fuck do you
even
think
comparable.
the first war was actually Where do you think those soldiers came from?
Not only that, AC, who has ended, which of these last 4 presidents has ended more wars and prevented more wars than Barack Obama with the Iran nuclear deal, pulling out of Iraq? None of these motherfuckers. Don't you get up here and do your little jig dance for your boy Donald Trump or your boy John McCain. John McCain was you voted for John McCain, the guy who was tap dancing and cheerleading for the invasion of Iraq. Get the fuck out of here.
Over a black man.
Go ahead, BBO. You got anything else to say?
I was 18. I'll say this. I was 18, and I was thinking about joining the U.S. Navy. At that time, I wanted to go with John McCain. I think John McCain's a great man. May he rest in peace. I'm gonna just say this.
He is. I'm not.
I'm gonna say this.
John McCain is. Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna say this. Never forget. John McCain saved Obamacare and almost 30 million people from losing their health insurance when he shot the orange man's bullcrap down. John McCain was a hero when it wasn't easy to be one. But for y'all to get up here as brothers,
nobody disrespecting John
Nobody
McCain.
get up here. No, hold on. Let me say this. Y'all to get up here as brothers. And dog Stephen A., our beloved brother who's done nothing but try to help black people, you're sick. You're sick.
Yo, bro.
You niggas are sick, bro. You niggas need straight jackets. AC, you are sick Negro. You are sick buck dancing Uncle Tom Negro.
Wow.
You sick, AC.
That bullshit.
You sick.
Bro, listen. BVO. I know you like to come up here and just try to get the rocks off of every white man in America, although you try to claim all of this other stuff. But it's like, bro, what Donald Trump, what position are you trying to get right now in Donald Trump's administration? I just want to know this, BVO, because you hard body, bro. I got to give you.
He can't get no positions with the type of record
going harder
BBO
than,
got.
You going harder than Brian Donalds right now, like, bruh.
That's just what AC. That's just what I'm about to say. Byron Donalds tried to get a position as the labor secretary, and they said no because he had a marijuana possession conviction for when he was like 15. But they'll put RFK Jr.
AC, you are the Ben Carson of YouTube. AC, you are the Ben Carson of YouTube. You are the Michael Scott of YouTube.
And you're trying to get Caroline Levitt's job, bro. I get it right now. That's what you're doing.
Brother, you just hold on. Let me just say it. Let me say this because I love you, man. I'm gonna say this because I love you. I'm gonna say it like this, beloved. Hear me when I say this, beloved. You are not listening to what I'm telling you. We don't need more black men going against other black men. We have to be together. We're better together than we are apart. Working together works. And I've been waiting. Hold on. Let me finish my thought.
Finish it.
And I've waited with great anticipation for the day when we can come together. You're my brother and I love you. And I think what you're doing is wrong. And as your brother, I gotta tell you, this is evil, AC. What you're doing is evil. This is a demonic attack. This is a demonic attack on our brother, and I hate that you allowing the devil to use you in this manner.
Hey,
this is sick. You're sick.
BBO, I tell you where we could work together. Once I get this thing launched, I'll invite you. We'll do a live together, promoting a joint event to have many people as possible sign up to understand the importance of investing in these AI companies right now. If we could get a drive and have a bunch of people make this commitment that within their communities, they're going to be pushing the youth to do this type of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And also try to look at getting their CDL license to do specialty, small, large container movements and stuff like that. The stuff you don't want to leave to AI, like your valuables and your your family's sakes, keepsakes or whatever. You don't want an AI drone trying to deliver that. You want a real human hands and stuff like that trying to deliver that stuff. So there is a space within young people getting their CDL, but we just got to promote it. We could work together on some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm all for stuff like that. If you want to work together, hard body, yeah, we could get it. We can get it popping. And I believe between the way both of us think, that shit can be a very large movement. Although we have two different opinions, that don't matter to the main cause. We could sit behind stage and argue like cats and dogs, like oil and water. It don't matter to me.
I'm just telling you, man, and this is what I'm saying. Excuse my passion. Excuse my passion. I'm very passionate when it comes to my people because black men and women are under attack constantly. We can't even find out why this young brother Nolan Wells is gone. I seen on TV in this country, the greatest land and the greatest place in the world. I seen a man lose his life and cry for his mother. I cried like a newborn when I seen that video.
So did I, bro.
All I'm trying to let me say this.
Outraged.
Let me just say this, and I'm gonna be quiet. It just hurts me that a dude like Stephen A, who's not perfect, he's not perfect, but damn, does it have to be us that criticize him?
Yes.
Does it have to be us?
But
yes.
why don't
Because that's when it hits
so
home.
much for
That's
blacks.
when it hits home. Hold on, let me just say this to him real quick. BVO, yes, because that's how it really hits home. When your own kind are telling you, bro, you kind of stepping over the line here. We want to respect you for your past work, but we also want to respect you for your brilliancy. But you just got to lay off this type of pattern. Every black woman is not there to be criticized or whatever. You can just pass it on and leave it to her space and let her people. And then when our people get on her about what she's doing, maybe she'll change. But if it's not coming from within and that's your own people, then, bro, the message will never, ever hit home. You'll think you're actually doing something well.
All I'll just say is, BVO, I wish you would take that same stance with Stephen A. Smith when it comes to going at black people. That's all I'll say about this. If you have any last words before we move on to Nolan Wells, you could feel free to give it. Go ahead. All right, I guess BVO is all talking out. Okay. But moving on, AC, to the Nolan Wells of it all. So, a couple of new developments in the case. A witness, an alleged witness, I should say. This has not been verified. At this point, all we know is it's a young lady whose name on TikTok is Secret Service Sam. She has come out and she has stated that she saw a fight between Nolan Wells and the young white man he was on the boat with. Here's a picture of them. Between Nolan Wells and these young men, the night he went missing. She didn't see everything that happened, but she was there to see that there was a fight. Oh, okay, BBO, you're back. Before we move on to Nolan Wells, you have anything else you want to say about Stephen A. Smith? Get it all out your system. Go ahead. Anything else?
I'll just say this, man. I hate to see it's always brother versus brother, man. And, the thing that we got to remember is this. People like Brandon Tatum, people like Jason Whitlock, those are bad faith factors. Those are people who lost their identity for money. Clarence Thomas did an interview with the great Julian Bond, who used to be over the NAACP nationally. And if you heard his story of how he grew up with his grandfather on a farm right outside of Georgia in Savannah, Georgia, I couldn't believe the man that he turned out to be. Selfishness, greed made him a different type of man because he wasn't always what he became today. And what I'm saying is I hope Stephen A. is not vilified in this way because he's able to touch platforms a lot of black men can't touch. And I'm saying this with passion, and forgive me sometime if I say coon or all that, because I just hate, why do we gotta always reduce ourselves to ghetto nigga culture? That's not us. Bill Cosby, Maya Angelou, Malcolm X, E.B. Du Bois, I mean, those were not niggas. Elijah Muhammad, those weren't niggas. Sammy Davis Jr., that little evil fuck, Sammy Davis Jr. was a trailblazer. I just feel like y'all calling the wrong man names. If y'all did the same thing about Jason Woodlock, it makes sense. But Stephen A. criticizing a couple chicks who said something about him first, you can't even, you know what? Why do they want to demasculate the black man? We always got to be castrated, or we can't, or if we're not castrated, we are vilified, we're talked about like dogs, and you give Stephen A., the biggest personality on the biggest sports platform, the Great Wild World of Sports, ESPN, give him a thumbs down? Why? Why from his
Well,
own people?
First
Go
off,
ahead.
Jasmine Crockett said nothing to Stephen A. Smith. Kamala Harris said nothing to Stephen A. Smith.
Willie Brown's woman said
Joy
something?
Reid didn't say nothing to Stephen A. Smith till he came for her. She did not send for him, okay? And he decided to come for her. And she made it known, like, listen, my views might have been down on my show, but I have four. I used to do four. At the end of my show, I was doing 4 times what you do at First Take. So again, they did not send for him, and he came for all of them, and he used white right winger talking points to attack them. So the same way you're saying that, these women, or you call them chicks, excuse me, you didn't even call them women, you call them a couple of chicks. You feel like they should be criticized for even talking about the man. Well, then why can't we criticize him? Why can't the National Association of Black Journalists let it be known, like, bro, your rhetoric is damaging and it's being used to be weaponized against these women? And I used a very clear and simple example for you that I know you understand, because I called you that day, the day after Josh Hokett went up there and disrespected Michelle Obama. And so I know you understand. But we're going to leave that alone, BBO. And we're going to move on to Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells, as I was just saying before you came back, BBO, some new information has come out. A witness has come out and has been claiming that she saw a fight take place between Nolan Wells and the young white men who he was on the boat with. Oh, damn, I don't even got... Okay, well, let me leave that for a second. But there's a big fight taking place between Nolan Wells' family and the sheriff's department. At the current moment, the Nolan Wells family, they have his phone. This is, of course, the infamous phone that one of his white friends lied and said he didn't have. Then the mother tracked it and found it on him and was forced to admit, yeah, here's the phone. So the phone was wiped clean, according to the mother. Everything from that day was gone, all text messages, everything. The sheriff's department and the DA of Jackson County in Mississippi, basically, after they had a meeting about having the phone reviewed with an independent forensic investigator from the family, they then come back and send the family this demand letter and say, you have 24 hours to get us that phone right now. And the family said, wait, hold on one second. We're out of town. Pick a date whenever you want, and we'll come forward with the phone with our independent investigator. So I just find that, number one, I find that to be strange. And here is Nancy Grace, who has been doing a hell of a job at highlighting this case. Shout out to old Nancy, a legend in her craft.
The family is now seemingly being accused of wrongdoing because they haven't handed the phone over yet. What happened back on, I've got a big note here, phone July 15. Isn't that when the family had a meeting and said, yes, you can have the phone, but they want independent examiners there at the same time, right? Tell me July 15, what happened?
July 15th, the attorney for the parents of Nolan met and said, yes, we want to give over the phone, but we want someone in the middle here, someone from the outside, an expert to analyze the phone. It appeared everyone agreed. Then all of a sudden they get a letter saying, we want the phone, and you have 24 hours to send it over. The DA sent that. And the parents were out of town and said, wait, we don't have the time to do that. Hence the narrative that they're not cooperating. Now, they say, Nolan's parents, look, we have our experts on standby. This week, pick a day. And not to mention, on the 19th would have been Nolan's 19th birthday. A difficult week for the family, but they say, hey, we'll give up his cell phone. We want someone, a mediator, if you will, an expert in the middle.
So the attacks against this family it's just absolutely diabolical. You had these three white friends go on Officer Kuhn Tatum, who BVO was mentioning earlier, go on and essentially blame Nolan Wells' mother for all the media attention and was impugning her character. Then, after 18 years as a CNA nurse, impeccable record, never had one complaint. Out of nowhere, after her son dies, and she goes and gets Ben Crump to represent her family, now all of a sudden she has a complaint against her, stating that she leaked confidential information concerning a patient or whatever. I think it's absolute bullshit. So outside of the phone now, where, by the way, you had the sheriff, talking about the sheriff and DA for a second, the sheriff actually came out before this whole investigation was completed, before the Jackson County medical coroner even touched the body, and stated he didn't think that was foul play, there was foul play in this instance. So I have no doubt in my mind, also knowing the history of Mississippi, go look up the Goon Squad. Go look up all the different massacres by the KKK and other domestic terrorist organizations.
Hey, can I just say this real quick, Mark? Let me just say this one thing.
I wanted to finish, but
I know
be
I want to say about
brief.
Mississippi
Go
before
ahead.
I forget. Ronald Reagan started his presidential campaign in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Look up why he did that. Philadelphia, Mississippi. That's where Ronald Reagan started his campaign. That piece of shit.
I bet he did, and I don't think I even need to look up why. I think I could already assume and allude to why. It is a history with deep racism. They just found a mass grave of black people the other day. Again, I'm not surprised. If you throw a rock in Mississippi, it's likely to land on a mass grave of black people that were massacred. But moving on from the phone, a new piece of evidence or a potential piece of evidence has come out. The young man that Brandon Tatum had on his podcast to interview and impugn the name of Nolan Wells' mother, they never once has mentioned that there was an altercation between them and Nolan Wells. This new witness has come out, and she is shining, and she's adding a new piece to the story.
I have not spoken publicly about this before, but I witnessed an altercation involving Nolan Wells from a boat nearby. What I saw has stayed with me, and I believe it's important information. I have provided or intend to provide my account to the appropriate investigators because Nolan's family deserves the truth. Out of respect for the ongoing investigation, I won't speculate beyond what I personally observed. While I was on the boat near the area, I witnessed an altercation involving Nolan Wells and several other individuals. I saw what appeared to be an argument that escalated after there was a dispute involving Nolan's phone. I heard Nolan yelling for his phone to be returned. The argument continued after the group reached shore, and I observed a physical fight involving Nolan and multiple people. I also observed a young woman telling them to stop. At that point, I left the area because the situation had appeared to be getting worse. I did not remain long enough to witness what happened afterward. Everything beyond what I personally observed would be speculation, so I cannot honestly say what occurred after I left. Then she said she messaged one of the individuals that she saw, hey, I just want to say I was a passenger on another boat and I saw the argument between you guys and we'll go to the police with this information. I also have video footage. My husband doesn't show much, but it shows the argument that was taken and how you guys were upset at Nolan because of the young lady.
That from Secret Service Sam on TikTok. Okay. How is this helping the investigation? I'm trying to make sense of so many people online making comments. Now, If this is true, if there is a witness who has a husband with her on the boat and they took a certain amount of video, it could change everything, especially if the video is time stamped. Straight out to veteran.
So now I want to be clear. This is an alleged witness. We do not know yet. I mean, we cannot verify yet at this time if this person is a real person or if it's just a troll or if they're maybe just doing it for attention or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to reserve like coming to a conclusion on whether that person is telling the truth or not. But if they do in fact have a video of these young white men beating up or getting into a fight with Nolan Wells because they took his phone, or because it had something to do with the young white.
Marky must have got a phone call. But my opinion is this.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. You there, Marky? Well, I'm going to say this real quick until Marky comes up. Well, my opinion
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now there you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All day long, these people got a chance to. It's what I keep telling you, AC. It's like a cosmic force out there that tells people to call me exactly when I get on stream. Salute to broadcasting in my kick chat. Broadcasting. We talking politics. We're talking news. Right now, we're talking about the Nolan Wells situation. I encourage you to follow me over here and subscribe to me on YouTube, the Democracy Briefing. Shout out to you though. I appreciate you for coming through. But I was just briefly saying before I got so rudely interrupted by this phone call. Their story completely crumbles if there is in fact a video of them fighting with Nolan because they took his phone. And AC, what did I tell you last week? Nolan was probably on that island, blazing one of them fucking white girls in the bushes. His friends probably got mad. It's a story as old as time. And a fight went too far. And what happened. I don't know this to be a fact. I'm just telling you what I think. But all I know is this young man did not drown. I have no doubt in my mind something foul took place on that island. Something foul took place on that island. Whether it was them who did it to Nolan Wells or somebody else who was on the island, one of them other white people that was on the island, because apparently Nolan was the only black person on the island at that time. This young man was killed. And something else, I don't have the clip from Nancy Grace's show, but she brought on an expert who stated it doesn't make sense that he drowned in the water. Okay? Because Nolan Wells, he's a kid with a lot of lean muscle. Okay? Muscle sinks. Fat floats. So it would make more sense that something was done to him on land and then his body was placed in the water. That's just a medical theory. I want to be clear about that. But I'm going to come to you first, BVO. You have any reaction to the new pieces of evidence that have just been provided and to the situation as a whole? Go ahead.
I'll say this. Brandon Tatum, there's a hot place in hell with your name on it. Brandon Tatum was the first one to bring this up. He talked about how he seen a DM that he got or somebody DM another person about this exact same story. And to see Brandon Tatum be this nefarious and this much of a lying coon ape, it just doesn't make any sense. I can't believe the money means enough to him to where he would try to stifle his own people. And I just say this, Nolan Wells, that's a black man's nightmare. You work your ass off to get out of the ghetto and you lose your son on a boat like that. the heartbreak, you know, you think about him and Carmelo Anthony, Trayvon Martin, and those latter two I named, those guys were, I think, wrong in what they did, but Nolan didn't. I don't know what Nolan did, man, to have to lose his life and to think his father worked his ass off to get out of the ghetto and is rewarded with his son's death. America, we got to do better than this. Black men should not be afraid to tell their kids, hey, you can't hang out with those white kids. But that's what happens to a lot of these young black people. They don't know that you got to be careful when it's a group full of whites sometimes. It's just that simple. Go ahead, AC, my bad.
Yeah, I said it to AC last week, and I'm gonna let you come in, AC. If my child goes on a boat with a bunch of white people and they come back without him, everybody has forfeited their life. Everybody. Because BVO, I think your oldest daughter is 16 years old. I cannot imagine raising my child to 18 years old and then some jealous white punk takes his life for nothing. For some broad who probably don't even fuck with you like that. I really hope to see Judge. Come in, AC. What's your thoughts on the new pieces of information? Good.
Well, there was something that stuck out to me, and it's like, okay, why do you want his phone? What are the arguments about the phone for? It's his phone. It leans back to something that you were saying before. He was smashing one of them. Either he got a video or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? And they trying to play superhero to whatever. Because the lady in her letter was in what she's allegedly said she saw and somewhat heard was they were arguing about something that happened between Nolan and the girl, and they wanted his phone. So why do you want a phone? We all on this together. I didn't say anything. You feel what I'm saying? So you sent Shorty a D pic?
Nah, I think what probably
Or
happened.
I got a picture of you giving me head.
Yeah,
I got a
that's what it
reverse
is.
cowgirl. I got a reverse cowgirl video, little 10-second jump off. You feel what I'm saying? Dude saw it and now they mad jealous. And then once they got him on the boat, it's like, nah, you can't have that, because if you take that back and you show somebody, like, why would I show anybody? He's like, because and then they try to force that issue because he got video proof that he was smashing.
Hey, see, what's that movie? Remember there was a movie back in the day where these white kids went to the beach and there was like a bully that they all hated and they took his life out there?
Yeah, I don't remember that movie, but I saw the same movie because that's the movie I was trying to remember last week when we were talking about this, and I was like, there's a movie that this is so favorable to. Like, I didn't seen it, but I can't remember the name of the movie. It was with a bunch of teens and they went to this island or beach or some shit like that, and they killed somebody there, and they all swore to keep it a secret.
And the person
Was it Remember Last Summer?
I don't know. I don't have my computer in front of me to look it up.
Might be. It might be.
The thing is this, man. I'm gonna tell y'all this. People get really brave when they're in groups. Everybody's not going to be 6'5" like BVO and can really box. So that's kind of why I talk the way I do, because I really know how to box. But it's very dangerous for these kids, man, to hang out with some of these white kids. And there's videos of, I seen a video with two white girls beating on this black girl, calling her a black bitch and all that.
I've seen that.
It's just one of them things. Speak to my brother Jay Gibson. I just say this, man, like, we can't catch a break in America. And that's what's so frustrating, because black men died in every war, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, the Indian War. It's just like we can't catch a break to this day. And Nolan, if he did whoop some chick on the doggone thing, thing. So what? But I know I
Can you hear BVO?
Yeah, he went blank. But nah, Marky. That's what I actually believe at this point. Looking at
Which
this
is
kid, he was
mhm.
smashing one of them. He was smashing, and she probably told another girl. That other girl told one of them, and then they was like some sort of weird scenario to where they need to have his phone to whatever. And if they arguing over his phone, nothing makes sense. Like nothing makes sense unless there's some sort of footage or picture or whatever that you know I think is compromising to the white chick, and they trying to play superhero because you see these type of situations with people online. You know what I'm saying?
Cause it makes no sense at all to me whatsoever.
Yeah,
You telling me my son dies or you telling my son goes missing and y'all have his phone? It just makes no sense at all whatsoever. And why were you hiding it? They could have been slick and said he left it on the boat, and we didn't realize he left it on the boat until we left. He said he was going with somebody else. It makes no sense, and I absolutely believe they had this fight with these dudes. When this young lady, I'm praying that this is I'm praying that this is true. The new witness has just come out. I'm praying that they go to the investigators. I'm praying they show them the video because it calls into question their entire narrative that they've tried to carefully piece together, that we left him there and he said he was going to go with somebody else. Why would you leave your friend? It makes no sense. Why did you leave him there?
yeah.
Oh, he just said he wanted to go with somebody else. We were cool. That makes no sense. Like I tell you, we down here on the island, we go on boats to Buck Island all the time. It does not happen that we come together and then, I'm gonna go with somebody else. Yeah, y'all go ahead without me. And we were cool when that decision was made. It don't make no type of sense. They took this young man's life. I don't have a doubt about it.
Yeah.
Or if it wasn't them, they know who did it. And like I said, one more time, I pray that this new piece of information that just came out from this alleged witness is true. And I pray that Nolan Wells' family gets justice.
Well,
Because it's not right at all whatsoever what happened to him. And you got any last thoughts before I move on to the next
yeah.
topic?
I'm gonna say it like this. Whoever this witness is, I hope they have their own security, because
Mm-hmm.
if the stuff that you have is real, you expose the cover up from the sheriff's department, you expose the cover up from the county, you expose just so much within that situation, to whereas a lot of people will either be prosecuted or lose their jobs. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if this person is real, I hope they're in a safe location, because this type of case and how big it is and stuff like that, people
I
will
think
try
that
to
that's
offer
why
you to
mhm.
to to suppress that information.
I
So
think that's
that's all
why
I'm saying.
she didn't post the video on her TikTok, AC. Because it would probably reveal her identity and who her husband's identity is.
Yeah,
So that's why I think she's laying low and she's gonna. Firstly, I think she should take the video to Nolan's family and attorney Ben Crump before she take it to the investigators.
yeah,
That's number one.
yeah. Because I
Because
wouldn't trust the
this
investigators.
exactly one of those boys' mother is an elected judge for the county. I'm
See?
sure. And not only that, I'm sure they got a goon squad. Like I told you the other week about what happened in Rankin County, just a little bit up the road from Jackson County. They had a squad of white sheriff deputies who were hunting black people to torture them and drive them out of town. I'm sure they got a goon squad in
Yes.
Jackson County who's willing to do whatever to maintain the status quo. So prayers for this young lady, prayers for her husband. I pray they remain safe, and I pray that within this sheriff's department or the district attorney's office, you have decent people who will look at Nolan Wells and say, if that was my son, I would be absolutely just heartbroken and want to end my own life if my son got taken out like that. And we're gonna leave this right there, and we're gonna continue discussing it at another time, AC. But the next topic I wanted to get into, AC. I don't know if you saw this, AC. Lindsey Graham's sister, who was appointed to the Senate by the governor of South Carolina, was heavily endorsed by Donald Trump. She's decided that she wants to run for her brother's position as a United States Senator, a 6-year term. This broad got up there during a debate and made an absolute ass out of herself.
Senator, are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? If so, why?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States, and if so, why or how?
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security, but I do support the military. My brother was in the Air Force for 33 years, so I will do everything I can to support the military. My dad was in the Army. I'm not a polished politician up here. National security is not my thing, not my area of expertise, but I do support the military.
Congressman, I'll give you a chance to respond.
Oh my God. Listen, I've seen some really bad debate performances. I've seen some really bad gaffes. You want to talk about unprepared? It should have been like the people behind her completely let this lady die on stage. And salute to my brother Juan Claudio in the chat. Thank you for coming through, Juan. AC, you just see some people who are absolutely just, not only are they unqualified, they're not good political athletes. Like that lady Francesca Hung, who just lost the Wisconsin governor primary, when she couldn't just answer the question about Thanksgiving. It should have been, if I was up there having to answer that question, and I didn't know fuck all about the South China Sea or the situation with Taiwan and China, it would have been a simple answer that my team prepared for me for any conflict. I think the United States should pursue good relationships with China as well as the countries in that region. However, we need to be focused on our president, the greatest president in the history of this country, Donald Trump's plan of peace through strength, and we need to then keep our focus here on domestic issues where I have a lot of experience. It should have been that simple, but she completely crumbled. This broad, and I wanted to say this. I wanted to make sure I said this on the record. This is what a DEI hire looks like. This is what somebody who's completely unqualified, has no position being in this, being a 6-year senator. She has no business doing this at all whatsoever. Think about all the adversaries we have around the world, in Yemen, in Somalia, in Russia, Ukraine, North Korea. You need to be educated about these things. You're not just a fucking throwaway House member amongst 300 representatives. You are a United States Senator. They are going to you are going to be involved in the classified briefings when we're going to nuke somebody. And I wanted to bring this up because we keep hearing this bullshit from Republicans about, oh, this is a DEI hire, which is just another way to say the N-word. When they want to denigrate black people for being in a position. They call Kamala Harris a DEI hire. They say Barack Obama is a DEI hire. And I want to play Donald Trump's words on DEI hire.
We have to have our smartest people. It doesn't matter what they look like, how they speak, who they are. It matters intellect, talent, the word talent. They have to be talented, naturally talented geniuses. You can't have regular people doing that job. They won't be able to do it. But we'll.
The bitch is as regular as it gets. She has no business being a United States senator. If Lindsey Graham, number one, if she wasn't white, and if she wasn't Lindsey Graham's sister, she would have not been appointed to the job. Plain and simple. And another thing, if Tim Scott, who's a black senator from South Carolina, if Tim Scott were to die on the job, I guarantee you, they wouldn't give his brother, who was a sergeant in the United States Army, they would not appoint his brother to the position. They would appoint some white dude from whatever shit creek of South Carolina, whose family probably has a deep history of being in the KKK. Any thoughts, AC, on DEI Graham? Senator Delphine Graham?
Well, I say it like this. I applaud her honesty. That part was kind of cool. In terms of cringeworthy, was it as bad as Rick Perry when he couldn't remember his own points that he was running on?
Oh yeah. What do you say? I want to abolish the Department of Education, the Commerce Department, and I want to abolish the Department of Education. Then the motherfucker forgot the second one.
Stuff at him. They were yelling out stuff to him, and he was like, "No."
AC,
no.
I wish I had that clip. AC, you remember he forgot when he was trying to say it again. He forgot the second one, and his opponent reminded him the Department of Commerce. He said the Department of Commerce. Now that was a gaffe. I get it. It wasn't as bad as that. It was not as bad as that.
So I was just like, okay, I've seen actual worse and actual more embarrassing, but at least she was honest. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of the way she asked the question, said, "Can you repeat it?" This is where, to me, it proved that you had no business on that stage, because you're looking at her, looking at the lady say it, and in her mind, she's trying to figure out, okay, where is Taiwan on the map? And where would the South Asian Sea be? So she's trying to figure out globally where that is, instead of listening to the political question, so she could have given maybe a double talk political type answer. You feel what I'm saying? Which then shows that she had no prep. Like they just winged this shit, said, "Listen, you're charming. Just go out there and be charming." So it's funny on that level. And for me, I'd have probably been, if I was a comedian, I probably have so much material just off the question, the look on her face, and then what her team was saying backstage and stuff like that. I'm quite sure she was smart enough to ask, well, what if they ask me a foreign policy question? Again, just be charming. That's just be charming. Let your answer be charming. And that's what it was. She said, well, I'm going to be honest. And that's what I was like, oh my God.
But like, there's some people who they just aren't built for this, AC. Say whatever you want about Donald Trump. He's built for that shit. If they had asked
Yeah.
Donald Trump in 2016 probably knew fuck all about the situation with Taiwan and China. But if they had asked Donald Trump and he didn't know shit about it, you know what Donald Trump would have said? I'm not going to start any new wars. All these presidents before me, they've started wars. I'm going to be the president to end all the wars. So you don't have to worry about China or the
He's
South China Sea. Or
Donald
Mom
Trump
Dot, you
knows
know what
how to
Mom
play the
Dottie would have
media.
said? You know what Mom Dottie would have said? I'm focused on delivering for Americans here at home. China and the South China Sea, while we should have good relations, our focus needs to be on Americans at home struggling with the affordability crisis. This broad
He
had
sounds
nothing.
just like
My
that dude.
my brother was in the Air Force. He just
Like,
had
bro,
nothing.
yeah. That's what makes it so funny to me. It's like more funny than cringe funny with Rick Perry. Like Rick Perry, you were just a disaster because, you know, you were the guy that was supposed to run away with this shit. Once you get on a political stage, that's when you were supposed to show that Texas machismo, the big cowboy hat, the boots, and the big, Smith and Wesson revolver or whatever, Winston, whatever that big ass revolver, he was had on his waist and shit like that. So that's when you really thought, Rick Perry was really gonna do his thing. He was the businessman. He's familiar with oil and all of that kind of stuff. But her, it's like, okay, we just need a warm body in that seat. And at the end of the day, whenever the election comes, for 2026, she'll be thrown to the wolves. She'll take her lumps and stuff like that, and if she wants to get back in the race, this will really teach her what it needs to be. And I'm thinking that's maybe what her team said to her, and she agreed upon it or whatever. Like, okay, it is what it is. I don't plan on moving forward after this temporary seat. You feel what I'm saying? Because nobody's gonna vote for that chick. Seriously, I
I think
can't.
no, I'm happy about it. I think it's perfect. Donald Trump, like the idiot he is, endorsed her. So I hope she wins the primary because the Democrat is gonna win. For the
Yeah,
first time in however long, a Democrat is gonna win in South Carolina. We're gonna pick up a seat in Alaska. You have an independent who's gonna caucus with the Democrats in North Carolina. I think this is perfect. I hope they keep doing what they're doing, man. AC. I think it's beautiful. We're gonna have a nice, big, beautiful majority this upcoming January. It's gonna be
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. I'm just like, you know, sometimes I know it was a rush situation and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, I don't think they should have put her up there on that stage like that. Just not show up, letting everybody know, listen, I'm just a warm body to fill this seat. After this, y'all not gonna get me on no stage to try to talk to me about foreign policy. Y'all not gonna try to get me to talk about, tariffs and shit like that. I don't know about none of that stuff. So I'm just a warm body. Warm body. If you need me to say yay or nay, I'll do that until, this primary shit is up. And if I'm primaried, I'm out.
Hey, I got that Rick Perry. I got that Rick Perry clip.
It's three agencies of government when I get there that are gone: commerce, education, and the what's the third one there? Let's see. EPA. EPA. There you go. No, okay.
Let's talk deposition. Seriously? Is EPA the one you were talking about? Or
No, sir.
You can't name the third one?
The third agency of government,
Yeah.
I would do away with the education, the commerce, and let's see. I can't. The third one, I can't. Sorry. Oops.
Oh my God, that clip is so. And Ron Paul looking at this like this guy's a fucking retard. You remember Ron Paul? You hear Ron Paul had to tell him your second one is commerce, bitch.
He was like, I can't. Oops.
He should have just stuck with it. He should have just stuck with the EPA. Like Ron Paul threw him an alley oop. Like Ron Paul was probably standing there like, nah, man, I can't let this guy die like this. He should have just stuck with the EPA. Instead, he like, I don't know, man. That was bad right there.
Yeah,
Jesus,
bro.
man.
Yeah, the lead up, because some people may for the first time see it, and you may be like, well, that's not that bad. It's kind of funny. But no. You had, like, if you were looking at it and looking at the lead up and everybody's talking, okay, Rick Perry's coming in and it's going to be all 16 of them on the stage and this is going to be blah, blah, blah. And Rick Perry should really stand out because he's the Mr. Machismo. He had all of these ads in magazines and gun magazines, cigar magazines, alcohol related ads and stuff like that. All these type of people were supporting Rick Perry in that 2016. He was supposed to be the darling child to run away with that election. But one by one, Donald Trump just was like, bang, bang, plucking them off. You know what I'm saying? Just acting like it was a reality show, like a movie scene where he's like, look, I'm just here for branding. I'm not trying to win this bullshit. Fuck you, you're a clown. Yo, sit your little ass down. And Marco Rubio, you're a bitch. And that's what
little Marco
sparked something, because they was like, hey, wait a minute. We'd never seen a politician. And one by one, he pretty much blew them away. The only one he couldn't take down was Rick Perry, because Rick Perry just shot himself in the foot right there. He couldn't bounce back from that. You know,
Man,
so
that was brutal.
Yeah,
But,
and he didn't want to. I think he never endorsed Donald Trump too. He was like, I ain't fuck that dude. For real.
man, we're gonna move on to the final topic of the show, AC. So John Ossoff, moderate Democrat, who's probably, I mean, it's looking like it's gonna be between him and AOC. AOC, by the way, just topped out as the number one, or the person with the biggest odds to be the Democratic nominee. Now we're 2 years out, so that doesn't really mean nothing. But it's looking like it might be John Ossoff versus AOC. The more lefty versus the more moderate. Both of them are pro weapons bans on Israel, or making them pay for the shit that we give them. But John Ossoff got on stage and called out Donald Trump and this broad he has walking around with him. Let me play this clip.
And while the sailors on the Lincoln fight his war, while he fruitlessly drains our munitions and oil reserves, the president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
Now, you would think him telling Donald Trump he doesn't give a fuck about our sailors on the USS Lincoln, which, by the way, breaking news, thank God, they're now getting called home after being out for 9 months at sea, which is a record for any aircraft carrier in the history of the Navy. He got mad because he called out the fact that when Donald Trump's bitch ass got scared that the Iranians were going to kill him on his plane, he took this aide with him, Miss goddamn, I forgot her name, Natalie Harp, I think her name is. This man left Marco Rubio on the plane to die, but he made sure this broad got took. And it set off this whole big firestorm. You got Bill O'Reilly, Scott Jennings, the whole shebang. All those, Trump cocksucks on TV. How dare John Ossoff? This is so inappropriate to accuse a young woman of something so untoward. How could he? Meanwhile, Donald Trump could tell some woman, quiet, piggy. Oh, well, she should have been quiet. I mean, she should have been more respectful. Let me just play Scott Jennings getting called out on this.
She doesn't deserve. That's a pretty big microphone. If I got a list, Jared, of every female who worked in your office and read their first names and said, "Gee whiz, Jared, why are you spending so much time with that lady?" You'd be pissed right now.
Scott, let me hold on.
You'd be pissed.
Hold on. Do I think what happened with the Natalie thing is that how we should talk? No, I don't think that's how politics should be. But what you should understand is we talk like that now because of Trump.
Donald Trump. Thank you. Case closed. End of story.
Do you disagree with that?
Look, no. And the American people know it.
I believe you shouldn't demean women, and I don't think defenseless women in politics should be drugged through the mud.
Unless Donald Trump does it.
Okay.
Be consistent, Scott Jennings. The American people see your inconsistency.
All right.
Listen, I mean, President Trump, I think...
Not a negative word for Ossoff. What do you think?
Well, why are you trying to change the subject?
Listen, I'm curious.
Why would you not criticize Donald Trump?
Honestly, Scott, I think that if your position is that he was making an innuendo, I don't think it's good to make innuendo. But I also think it is worse to actually use insults to call women stupid, to call them piggy, to say that they are fat, whatever it is. Those things, actual, straight up, direct insults at professional women doing their jobs, I think most people think that's actually worse.
I think it's, look, I said I don't believe in demeaning women. I don't know what your problem is. Didn't you work for Bill Clinton? I mean, my God, we know how Democrats treat women in the workplace.
And do I defend Bill Clinton?
Honestly,
I have not defended him. You sit up. Scott Jennings is the master of deflection, the American people. He turns the subject here from Donald Trump to Bill Clinton because he doesn't want to talk about Donald Trump. He doesn't want to. It
was pretty bad.
He doesn't want to criticize his boss.
It's how Democrats think of women in politics.
Clinton. He's so good at changing the subject.
They view women in politics.
But he will not criticize his good friend Donald Trump.
John Ossoff has really done a great job of getting a lot of attention this week and stirring things up.
I tell you, bro, if Scott Jennings was right next to me and I was right, I don't know how Keith Boykin could really keep his composure. I would spit in that nigga's face. I would really do something to him. Like the level of smugness, the level of just, he knows he's deflecting. He knows he's full of shit. He knows that, like, firstly, to act like Donald Trump is this saint, this bulwark for women, and Donald Trump would never behave the way John Ossoff has, accusing this young woman of being so untoward. Are you fucking kidding me? Like Donald Trump, I mean, over 24 women have accused this man of sexual abuse. He's been accused and admitted to peeking his head into the dressing rooms of young women. And just here's a montage of Donald Trump and how he talks to women.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
But what we want to do is to replenish the Social Security Trust Fund.
You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
Well, I'm asking you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein.
You know what?
If there's nothing incriminating in the file,
Quiet. Unbelievable.
Quiet, piggy. I don't know who the fuck this guy think he is. He looks like a fucking, he looks like a boil. He looks like one of them boils you get on your ass. A nasty, fucking disgusted human being as it gets. And then quickly, before I let you come in, AC, to get your thoughts before we get out of here. By the way, John, and like Abby Phillips said, John Ossoff has done an amazing job at getting so much attention. John Ossoff really, really might be the nominee in 2028. I mean, he is a Democratic blue senator from the state of Georgia, which is a red state. And he's up by 10 points in the polls. It's looking like it really might be Ossoff or AOC. But this broad, a Harp, whatever the fuck her name is, I don't give a fuck who she is, to be honest. I really don't care for the broad at all whatsoever. She has been not only accused, but there's some stories that came out, AC, Oh, damn, I don't even got the videos, man. I'm fucking up. What is wrong with me? But essentially, AC, her brother came out and made it known that this broad is out of her goddamn mind. There was an instance during Trump's 2023 criminal trial where she got so mad because there was no space for her in the SUV. And she said, President Trump said, I have to ride with him. This broad jumped in the trunk of the fucking car. Did you just hear what I said? This broad wanted
Yeah, I
to
saw the
ride in
photo.
this broad wanted to ride in Donald Trump's car so bad. She jumped in the fucking trunk. Not only that, AC, speaking of photos, who does this broad look like to you? Who does she look like to you, AC? I'll tell you, AC. Ivanka Trump. This man, Donald Trump, is a creep, bro. The broad looked just like Ivanka. Minus all the plastic surgery. It looked like she ain't been under the knife yet. I'm just absolutely disgusted, bro. This is the broad y'all want to bring up here to try and act like she's some type of Joan of Arc. You can't talk about her. She's Joan of Arc. She's an absolute saint. This bitch had bone cancer, and she said Donald Trump healed her. And I finally got the video. Let me play this video from Inside Edition, who did a report on her.
The brother of President Trump's devoted aide, Natalie Harp, is speaking out. She's found herself in the spotlight after a Democratic senator made a crack about the president, saying he was more interested in traveling with her than doing his job. Now, her brother says in an interview that she has a, quote, unhealthy relationship with the president.
We are getting insight today into Natalie Harp's relationship with President Trump from her brother.
I don't think it's a physical attraction. Let's get real, you know?
Preston Harp says his sister has long been drawn to powerful men in high positions, even at an early age.
She's written letters to other presidents, let me put it that way. And so like her dream came true finally. Trump's best friends are people who are his fan club, you know? And so she's his biggest fan. And so that's probably why he likes her. And she's good looking.
Natalie first came to Trump's attention in 2019 when she credited him with saving her life. She was suffering from bone cancer, and his right to try policy gave her access to experimental treatments.
My Good Samaritan, President Donald J. Trump.
She has repaid him with total devotion. CNN says in 2023, Natalie lost it when she was told there was no room for her in the motorcade that was taking the president from Trump Tower to Lower Manhattan.
A screaming match then ensued in the lobby of Trump Tower at that time, with essentially Harp saying that the president had personally asked her to go, and she was so determined to not be left behind that she actually got in the trunk of one of the SUVs.
That's obsession. That's like an unhealthy obsession with someone if you're going to jump into the trunk of their car.
Conservatives are coming to Natalie's defense today.
Dragging an unknown woman who's gone off to serve her government through the mud, insinuating that the only possible reason she could have a job in politics is because she's a concubine for a politician. It's despicable.
Man, everybody know why that broad got that job. These people need to stop playing around. She's not a bad-looking broad, okay? We all know what Donald Trump's got all these blondes for. And like Jay Will say, shout out to my brother Jay Will in the chat. She's the 2026 Monica Lewinsky. Probably been blowing this man for years before that. I don't know how you as a young woman, you probably just have no self-worth. You are a soulless ass bitch. For you to actually desire Donald Trump, a big fat old motherfucker like that, you probably gotta lift his belly up just to get to his piece. And she probably does it with joy, AC. Just disgusting. AC, what's your thoughts on the new Monica Lewinsky, aka Miss Monica Harp, or excuse me, Miss Natalie Harp, whatever the broad name is, man. And then for these Republicans to act like this is so unbelievable that the Democrats are attacking Trump using this woman.
Well, I'm going to start right here. Remember earlier when we were talking to BVO and you brought up what the Trump campaign was saying about Kamala Harris when she was running? She slept her way to the top. How do you make that statement about her and all of this other stuff and weaponizing, her past relationships or whatever, to diminish her? And you were doing it for the whole country to see. Scott Jennings and all of these other people, I've yet heard to apologize to Kamala since they want to come to this, chick's aid. You know what I'm saying? Be shooters for her. So they could save me with the crocodile tears and, oh, how could you insinuate somebody is doing what they're doing to because they're trying to sleep their way to the top. Well, that's what you said Kamala Harris did, and you've even had black men repeat that same talking point and say this is why I would never vote for her. So at the end of the day, it's goofy, it's weirdo-ish. You know what I'm saying? I agree with what her brother, and I wouldn't be a person that's saying no, he's hating on his sister or something like that, or jealous of his sister. No, what
The
you
brother's
have
a very
going,
wealthy business owner. He ain't got shit to be jealous of. That broad
yeah,
is
I'm
just
like,
a
you
bop.
know, it's like he spoke rationally to just be like, no, it's unhealthy. And if you're jumping as pretty as you are and stuff like that, if you're jumping in somebody's trunk because you need to ride with them and there's a shouting match, then that's, yo sis, that's you're being obsessive. You know what I'm saying? To go to the point where we were trying to say before, when it's your own kind, that's when it hits home. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, people can have their arguments, but reality keeps showing that who's on the right side of the argument. So what I'm saying, uh, is basically this: her brother sees something that's highly abnormal with his sister because she placed in her mind, and because she's always been, you know, kind of weird when it comes down to presidents and people of power and stuff like that. That when Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump personally saved her life. When it wasn't like Donald Trump just said, you know what, I want to sign this thing to this right to life thing. Like he really pondered and mused over that situation for days and weeks by himself in the Oval Office and said, this is what I'm going to do for the American people. And there was nobody else involved. That's how she sees that situation in her mind. Look at the way she was screaming. So, yeah, bro was right, man. Shorty, you need to slow down because if anything, you kind of remind me of the crazy fan that took out Selena.
Damn.
To do what she did, that's on that crazy lady that took out Selena type energy. At least that's what I'm getting. I don't know because that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, well,
That's not
crazy
gonna be the
broads are
one
gonna
you
be.
reject, bro. That's not gonna be the one you reject and say, "Oh, she was just somebody I knew for a couple of hours." She gonna spaz. She gonna spaz out on you, bro. She gonna get you.
You ever seen that? You seen the movie Obsession?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when that broad, when he found out the broad lied about her dad having cancer at dinner, and she started to lose her fucking mind. No, 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 no. Yeah, that's that broad right there. She got that
Yeah.
kind of face, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you, I guarantee you, her and Trump probably got some role play going on. She probably played Ivanka in the bedroom. Oh, Daddy, you called me in, Daddy? Ivanka, come here. I want to show you something. That was nasty, boy.
I Velcro my pamper first.
Oh, God. Oh, man, bro. This is
How
a
does those
nasty,
pamper nuts
nasty
smell?
world.
How does those grown man pamper nuts smell? Breathe it in.
Oh, you're a nasty guy, AC. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. I don't know how broad like that. You are a good-looking young lady. Why are you doing this to yourself?
Yo,
She could probably find some dumb fucking athlete with money, get pregnant by the nigga, get married, and live a nice, happy life. Why are you doing this to yourself, shorty? It's a
what was
nasty world we live in, AC.
yo? I'm trying to remember the name of the young blonde chick that married the billionaire dude, and then he passed away. I don't. Shit, I
You
forgot
know
this.
the name of the billionaire? What's his name?
Nah,
That's a
nah.
story as old as time, AC. That story you just described.
No,
Millionaire married some
it was
blonde broad.
basically back in the 80s. It was basically back in the 80s, and then she passed away in the 90s and something like that. And then I got to keep talking about it, and then I'll remember her name. Shit, I don't remember it, but basically, um, you look at a situation like that and go back to that other situation that I cannot remember right now. Um, uh, you have to ask the question. You have to ask the question, why? Like, what is it that you really see that you're looking at it through some sort of prism or filter of you know, of this dude being something that is bigger than life to you, your savior? That's the question I'd like to ask her.
Well, I just think crazy broads with no self esteem are gonna be crazy broads with no self esteem.
Anna Nicole
And
Smith. That's what I was talking about.
okay, I'll look her up. Jay Gibbs says she worked Trump hard for. Oh man, she was probably sucking that thing till she found gold. Jay Gibb, it's a goddamn shame, man. But hey, see, this shorter live than usual, but I got somewhere to be. It's always a pleasure, brother. Here,
For sure, bro.
we get to chop it up. My bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Can you hear me? AC?
Yeah.
I think I'm chopping up. 1 second. Yeah, your final thoughts, AC. Give me 1 second. Oh, my bad. Was I on mute? Was I on mute this whole time, AC? as I was just
Yeah.
talking?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. But nonetheless, as I was just saying, man, everybody on Twitch, Kick, I think I had 2 people each on each platform. Thank you for coming through. To my brother Jay Gibb in the chat, Vacay Bay, Juan Claudio, BVO. Some people call him CVO. You work that out for yourself. What that mean? Caston, who was over there on Kick. Thank you for coming through, brother. I hope you come over to my YouTube and Twitch page and subscribe. My brother B3 Picks, Boxing Scholar, as always, man. Everybody that came through. My baby, Angie baby. I almost forgot you. Thank you, everybody that came through. I appreciate all of y'all so much. This channel is continuing to grow. I'm continuing to have fun with it. Got a lot of important things going on in the world. And as always, the Democracy Briefing, me and my brother, my co-host, AC, we are going to come up here and we're going to discuss it for the people. And we're going to always try to tell the truth as much as we can at all times. But once again, thank you for coming through. And we're going to catch y'all next week. Take it easy, AC.
Yeah, for sure.
From the island breeze to the big world wire. Market and on the mission. Yeah, we never retire. Oh, turn it up now. Dum dum dum. Sunrise overcast, trees down, yeah, the morning nice and clear. Yeah. Mark it and touch the camera, say people come and hear. Yeah. On the YouTube channel, streaming truth straight through the flame. No fancy talk, just real talk, calling out the game. You say look how the system does press down on the poor, but we go stand up strong, we go open every door. From the fish market corner to the east, loud and free. Market and a voice for the people that easy legacy. Mark it on, fire in the wire. Light it up, let it go higher. Rhythm pump like the heartbeat. Truth burn like fire from St. Lucia to the Virgin Islands. Mark it on, standing up for you and me. We no bow, we no break, we no bend, we no hide. We fight for the people with the truth as we guide. Yeah, we sing it loud, let the whole world see. Freedom for the voice, it that ba 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 ba. Comment section, people talking every day. Some agree, some disagree, but they still find a way to keep it real, keep it grounded, never sell our soul. Even when the pressure try to take full control. He said watch out, the power like to twist up the truth, but we got the people who are stronger than the proof. Every upload like a spark in digital night, lighting up the minds so the future stay bright. Mark it down, fire in the wire. Light it up, let it go higher. Rhythm up like the heartbeat. Truth burn like fire from St. Lucia to the Virgin Islands. Mark it down, standing up for you and me. We no bow, we no break, we no bend, we no hide. We fight for the people with the truth as we guide. Yeah, we sing it loud, let the whole world see. Freedom for the voices. Up, ba 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 ba. Hands up now, let the rhythm roll. Feel the bass line deep in your soul. We come together, north, south, east, west. Only unity go past the test. Mark it on, fire in the wire. Light it up, let it go higher. Right the heartbeat, truth burn like fire. Mark it on, standing up for you and me. We no bow, we no break, we no bend, we no hide. We fight for the people with the truth as we guide. One love, one voice, one destiny. Yeah, we ba 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 ba.